Okay, so here you are about to listen to a special two-part, or part two, I should say, episode of the Ubiquitous Blacks podcast. Before you get into it, if you have not heard the first half of the conversation featuring myself and JiGH, then stop here, pause, and we'll wait. And then once you're done, then come back to this and we'll pick up right from here. Go ahead. All right. So I want to read off these lists of names to you, and then we'll kind of dive into this conversation because I told myself, actually, I told one of the producers for the podcast that I wanted to talk to someone in the UK about this particular, conversation because I wanted to have a different perspective. And since I have you, we're going to go there. Okay.
Okay.
The first name is Idris Elba.
Okay.
All right. Second I have here is Daniel Kaluuya. Is that how you even say his name? I don't know. I think I got it. I have David Oyelowo.
Oh, yeah.
John Boyega.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see here. Thandie Newton. And the list kind of goes on. Letitia Wright, Alfred Enoch, Ricky Whittle, one of my favorite people, Delroy Lindo. A lot of people don't know that person is that he's from
that
UK.
name rings a bell. Is he behind Empire?
Delroy, I don't know. He's been in so many things. Delroy is an amazing actor. He was in did you see that movie with Chadwick Boseman, the Spike Lee film? The Five Bloods. Did you see that?
No.
You should see it. It's a really good movie. But he's in that as well. He's been in a lot of stuff, though. He's a really, really amazing actor. Oh, and Michaela Coel.
Okay.
Michaela Coel. There's Ashley Walters. I really like
that. Oh, Ashley Walters. Okay, so this list sounds very interesting. I'm intrigued to know where you're going to go with it because I recognize a few of the names and
Nicholas Pinnock.
It sounds like a hot list. It's a
hot list, but that's just a few of the actors who have made successful strides and transitions into the American market.
Okay.
However, 90% of them have done so by playing American roles, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of it's a bit toned down in terms of, they go on screen, they lose their accent. We know that Daniel Kaluuya, his big film was Get Out, that kind of put him over. Yeah. And we know that movie in itself was about a Black American experience in terms of an interracial relationship, and then the whole thing, which one of my favorite movies to watch.
Honestly, it's probably one of the most refreshing, interesting films I've seen in a very, very long time.
Yeah. I was reading some things where some people were talking about, because of the context of the nature of the film, what they were talking about the what ifs, because we always can talk about the what ifs, right? Mm-hmm. We could all that's so easy to go into. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people were discussing. They were like, "What do you think the film would have been if it was someone who has experienced blatant American racism throughout their life, and what they would have done with the role?" This is just an interesting concept or interesting way to think about it, because a lot of these people, again, they've crossed over and they come in and they play American parts. And a lot of people don't even know that these people are British or they're from the UK or anything. They don't know that until they see like an interview or something happens and they're like, someone doing a promotional tour. It's like, wait a minute. Mm-hmm. But there has been an ongoing trend of these actors and actresses coming over and what a lot of people feel like are taking roles away from just Black Americans.
Okay.
Right. So it's sort of creating this conversation or this underlying rift, which I don't agree with. I think the overall conversation should be about what is being offered to us as Black people in terms of the roles that are presented and things that are put out in the media as what represents us. Because I think there's no reason that a bunch of people from the UK should be always having to fight over parts with Black Americans for the same roles. You know what I mean? There should be a broad enough dynamic and a broad enough scope there to have all the options. But of course there aren't. There's only a handful of parts.
Yeah.
But most recently, it all has culminated recently with this film. As you know, yesterday was MLK Day, Martin Luther King. And that was a big thing always. Of course, every year they have, these MLK specials and stuff. But a few days before that, the film One Night in Miami came out, which was directed by Regina King. So she's been in the game for so long.
Oh, wow.
And
I didn't know she directed it.
What is it now?
I didn't know she directed it.
Yeah. So this is a huge deal. So she kind of got behind that for a while. But a lot of people were giving her flacking about the casting that she did. So the film One Night in Miami, I'm going to read here the overview of it, just to kind of give you an idea. I haven't personally watched it yet because I'm a one-man band and I do 300,000 things.
Uh-oh.
So I didn't have time yet, but I'm going to watch it.
Cool.
On the night of February 25th, 1964 in Miami, Cassius Clay, who we later know to be Muhammad Ali, joins Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Malcolm X as they discuss the responsibility of being successful Black men during the civil rights movement. That's the overall format for the film, right?
Yeah.
And these are all roles of actual people who existed. It's not like Black Panther where everybody was kind of in that film, right?
Yeah.
There was a mix of all of us, and that was a beautiful thing. But that's more fantasy. That's more, it's like Coming to America. You can kind of throw everybody in there because it's not real, right?
Yeah.
But this particular film was based on real people, and the cast ended up being filled out. The main cast, anyway, ended up being filled out with 3 of the 4 people mentioned being British, Black British actors, right?
Cool.
The only person that was American was Leslie Odom Jr.'s character when he was playing Sam Cooke, but everybody else is Black British. And they asked Regina King about it, and her response, I must say her response, in my opinion, was a bit generic. Because she responded, she was like, as long as the person does well in the role, I don't care where they're from, or I don't care. It's almost like the answer you would expect. It's really polished. And she's been in the game since she was like a wee lad, so she's media trained. She's going to answer the question as generically as possible. I do think that there is and I just really want you to kind of go into this with me, but I do think there is what's the word I'm looking for? I think there is a strategic, purposefully done thing here where you are seeing a lot of Black British actors and performers who are taking these roles. And we know that there's not enough to go around, so that's always going to cause a rift. Is this something that you've been aware of, or is this something, am I just kind of bringing this to your mind at this moment?
it's definitely, it's news to me, and it's news to me, and it's new to me, but at the same time, I'm not mad. As much as I get the rift and I get the argument, as much as Regina King's response was generic, it was safe. Quite polished, and it was safe. At the same time, if I'm had to be honest and say, if they did an audition and they didn't know where the background was, and those 3 just so happen to be the best, then why should they be excluded because they're not from America? That's my first point. My second point is you can apply that same point with any other film. For example, I'm more of a music person. So if I do watch films, it's it's occasionally, but I don't know actors enough to be able to refer to them. But I can just use an example by saying, for example, there's films where, for example, the guy's been in prison for a certain amount of time, and the actors now happen to go to prison workshops to understand the mindset of someone that's been in a prison, for example, and they're having to learn from prisoners, whatever, so they can deliver their role the best way they can. Or, mental health, for example, some people go to mental health homes to understand, the mindset behind someone that's got mental health problems. But there's actors that exist that suffer with mental health. Why not employ them for the role as opposed to hiring someone that doesn't have mental health problems? And, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or, for example, why hire a straight man for a gay role and make the straight man learn ways, like homosexual ways, when you could just hire a homosexual actor to carry the role? You know what I'm saying? So if it's gonna be a thing of, why hire a British person when you can hire an American, you can apply that to any format. To me, if the person's good enough for the role and they've been able to deliver and execute well enough, then does it really matter what their background is? I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And also I feel like, sometimes America is, to me, it's even nice to know that America is even hiring across the board, because once upon a time, it will always be the same typical actors that are used.
That's still the case.
Wait, Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes. Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes.
Because I tell you what, nowadays they want Michael B. Jordan to be in every role.
But
and I'm like, he is not made for every role.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So the fact that they've now decided to take their net across the board, to me, I feel like it's something that should be celebrated, not necessarily targeted or triggered as if to say, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why are you hiring UK? But then on the flip side now, because I always had to, think on, put myself in the other position. If there was a UK film and they hired 3 American actors.
It wouldn't go over well. I'll tell you that now.
But at the same time, it wouldn't go over. You're probably right in that respect. But at the same time, I feel like it's more justified in the fact that the UK is so small already, so we're already very limited to roles. And then you had to cheat to take 3 people from a massive state of America that has 52 or 53 states? You know what I'm saying?
Just
I get
50.
it. Okay. Was it 50? When did I thought it was 52 or 51 or 53? I thought it was 50 something. But anyway, whatever. But the point I'm trying to make is, I could more see and understand the fury if it was the other way around, in terms of a UK film hiring 3 Americans and 1 UK. But I feel like with America, as big as it is, and they've always got things going on, you know what I'm saying? The fact that they've put their net across the board, I don't really think it's a bad thing. And I feel like if they do a good enough job.
And I agree. I agree. I think that aspect, I think, is awesome. I like I said, I want everyone to win. I think
of course
comes into play when it comes down to the overall mathematics of it, right? When you get down to the numbers, a good chunk of films that have been released over the past few months feature, if not one, several Black British leads in those roles, both in movies and in television shows. You were speaking of the concept of, if someone has been in prison, what would they do with a role? Well, it's so funny that you say that, because 50 Cent produced a show called For Life that revolves around this gentleman who's in prison and everything. And the lead character is played by a British guy.
Okay.
And that just came out not long ago. There's a movie called Off the Wire or Out the Wire or something like that. That recently came out, and that's got, what's the young kid? He's in everything right now. Yeah, Damson Idris. He's been in a lot of stuff here as of late, and he's another one. It's just really interesting to me that the ratio is off. even though the net has been casted wider, it's like if you use the net casting analogy, if you are going to a area and you are, fishing for, I don't know, fucking crabs, right? And you go and you cast the net and it's like, okay, let me go over here actually, because there are blue crabs over here. And you go over there and you do that. And you just end up pulling up a bunch of tuna. It's like, I didn't really, I came here for that, but it's like, I keep getting the same old thing. And the numbers just don't add up. And and here's the thing, and you can let me know if you're aware of this.
Okay.
Do you feel like, because I do you feel like the perception, the American perception, meaning white America, do you feel like the American perception of British people helps to push through these performers into these positions? Not just any, like I said, not just, supporting parts or anything like, but lead roles. Do you feel like the perception is different than that it is for a Black American? Because I do feel like that plays a factor. Or have you ever even had to think about that?
I'm not too sure I understand the question.
So it's like, okay, if you are Black and something else, it gives you an edge, or it gives you a quality. And in a lot of ways, okay, it's like this. It's like this, where some people come from certain places, they have already been conditioned to think less than of Black Americans, right?
Okay, I think I get it.
And it's like, well, here you are, you're coming from, the Dominican Republic, and you're Blacker than me, or you're from, the Congo, and you're Blacker than me, but you have these ideas in your mind made up about the Black American experience, or what the Black American represents, that even you coming in as an immigrant and, being amongst that, you almost see yourself on like a pedestal a bit above. And I think that is an issue because we don't get to communicate enough between one another, but also it's the Western standard that has been thrust upon us to make Black Americans be at the lower end of the totem pole. So you got to think, if you have like a scale or like a totem pole of race, right? Mm-hmm. You know who's at the top and who's just causing problems. But as you kind of go down, there's a lot of sub genres on that totem pole, right? So it's almost safer to be Black and British. It doesn't matter if you're in the UK and you have the accent and you're over there, because everybody's got it. You're not special. Yeah. When you take yourself up out of there and you're in a place that already associates the accent with a posh society or upper crust, and it's not even that. That's not even what it is. Yeah. But that's what people associate it with. Yeah. So it's like, by having that accent and being, sticking out like a sore thumb. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You come off as more approachable than the Black American who's readily accessible. So my question, I guess, would be the perception of different classes of Black people, or different Black people from different places, with the British accent being attached. Do you think that softens it up and helps these actors get these parts?
Well, I would definitely say on that point, it's funny how British or Europeans, that Black British, whatever, because I'm talking from experience. Mm-hmm. When we come to America, it's almost like, oh, you're from London? And it's like, there's almost like an adoration, and it's like but I don't see it reciprocated in the UK. If anything, I almost feel like the UK kind of rolls their eyes when they hear an American accent in the UK. It's like, oh,
yes.
And and I don't know if that's because
I'm locking it in.
I don't know if that's because you've been fed the American dream or the American lifestyle or the American way for so long in various platforms, be it the TV, boom, boom, boom. So it's almost like, it's almost like it's not even anything, it's not even a big deal for us anymore. I guess as we was talking about previously, because the UK is so small and it's, it's almost like new to America every time just hearing a British accent. So it's almost like there's a fascination. Oh my gosh, what are you? Who are you? Talk again. Say that word again. And it's almost like an admiration. I guess that could probably subconsciously play a small part, possibly.
I think it plays a big part.
Yeah, I mean, possibly. Jay, another thing that came to my mind, I was just thinking about what you was talking about prior, about the fact that 3 UK people was picked for an American role.
So an American role to play.
Oh yeah, American role
African
to play.
American
Yeah. I get
characters. You know what I mean?
Yes, I get it. But what it also now made me think as well is because it's so weird how when Americans struggle to do and this is something that I've noticed in general, when it comes to doing like an African accent or a Caribbean accent, Americans tend to struggle to deliver or execute. It's just something that I've always noticed in general. But a UK actor, actress tend to be able to grasp or execute a Caribbean accent or an African accent.
That makes sense logistically because you got to think even though everyone's here, we have everybody. It's a lot more spread out, like you said, but a good amount of the Black people who are in the UK and in Europe, all of those people can probably trace their family back to where they come from in Africa, just based on logistics alone. There are a lot of African people in the UK. There are a lot of people who that's their goal is to take send their kids to the UK for schooling and things like that. And they are of African descent, or they are first generation. You still have a lot of that. And here, you won't get that logistically because a lot of people aren't crossing over in that aspect. Okay. So you're gonna be exposed per capita more to those accents and hear them and be able to mimic them more than we would, because we don't get the reverse of it. Like the roles aren't a two-way street. So like I said, when we hear a British accent or anything, or when we imitate it, we're doing the most posh version of it, right? Yeah. So, and there's so many dialects, there's so many other avenues of it. Or when we hear the African accent, the things that have been presented to us on a small scale are only those more bush accents in terms of someone who will be from a village versus someone who is just from a larger city. Yeah. So it's really a matter of, honestly, what I think is just the exposure. You being like, for example, you're a huge fan of TLC, right? But that with that group, they were huge everywhere. I could probably count on my hand how many British groups or European groups I've been exposed to on that same scale. And the first one comes up is like the Spice Girls. And it's just not a good representation of everyone, especially Black people. You know what I mean? There hasn't been that. I mean, in our culture, we know Flowetry, right? But that was a moment in time for us. You know what I mean? But on a large scale, everybody to us is from Harry Potter and Hogwarts. Stop it. Stop. So it makes sense now that we're having this conversation. It makes sense that someone from the UK can come over and audition for a part and be able to feel like they nail it more or be more comfortable trying the accent because they grew up already doing that. You know what I mean?
Okay. I don't know if this point still applies, but for example, so let's just say that they're doing the film based in Africa, for example. You can even say the Black Panther, for example. Yeah. Which was based predominantly based in Wakanda, but it's kind of like an African theme. And the argument could stand as to say, why hire Black American actors? Why hire Black Americans and make them try and learn an accent or develop an accent when you could just hire African actors that naturally have an accent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But see, the thing is with that platform, it was opened up to everyone. And that's another thing too, that I don't think that a lot of us really give that film credit for, because it was a Marvel film. It's a fucking superhero movie,
yeah.
Right? That's just what it is. And those films are, huge because they're, blown up to be so. But on a more technical level, that you didn't see a movie like that come through and have several of us in it that came from different places. You know what I mean? You didn't get to hear an African dialect, because there were African actors in there. There were British actors. There were American actors.
It's
but
true.
Everybody was kind of thrown in the mix, and it was fucking magic. It was magic, and that was one of the good.
Actually, that's a very good point there.
You know,
that's a very good point. Yeah,
that was one of the better executions.
Very agreed.
Even so, it wasn't, since there's so much going on in those kinds of films, and you're seeing so much, there's action, there's just a lot to distract you, right? So you don't even care about everybody having different accents or sounding a little bit different. You know what I mean? Because Chadwick Boseman is T'Challa, and his sister is played by Letitia Wright, who is clearly British.
Yeah.
But you didn't think of them like, oh shit.
Of course.
They sound totally different.
Yeah.
Because it just didn't matter. But when you start to slow it down some, it's like you have time to be like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, wait.
18.
I don't know. I don't think. Okay, let me switch gears for a second here. I had a conversation one time with one of my friends is from Nigeria. And we were having a conversation about, I can't remember it specifically, but the detail was, he said something in response to what I said. He was like, that is such a big deal for you all over there. And we were talking about something that was race-based. And he was just like, that's such a big deal for y'all over there. And it wasn't until he said that I was like, wait a minute, you probably haven't ever had to talk about it. Or you probably haven't had to think about that. Or better yet, you probably never even had to learn about it in terms of your education curriculum. It probably wasn't something that was prioritized. That's another huge problem that I think also plays a hand into what we're seeing now with these people getting these parts. It's some deep shit. It really is. But it's like Meghan Markle situation, right? When she got married to Prince Harry and all that stuff. That was huge, right? Really, it's not really in the grand scheme of things that were going on at the time. It's nothing noteworthy at all. Right? But Black Americans, we have this thing where anytime something comes out and it's on a mass scale and it represents us, we pick it apart because you're so used to getting like the short end of the stick. And so you're in like this defensive posture, or you're in this defensive state all the time. So when something blows up, you make sure that, especially if it's something that's in a good light, you subconsciously make sure that everybody knows that this is a part of who you are. So as mixed as Meghan Markle was, we were like, no, damn it, her mama's Black. Motherfuckers would be like, you see her mama? You see her mama?
Right.
But she's not Black like you and I, right?
Yeah.
So she's a bit more calm in that sense.
Yeah.
But Black Americans was like, that she Black.
But that's the same with Mariah Carey. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, she black.
Yeah,
She's
as long
us.
as there's an ounce a drop, then suddenly it's almost like
That's us. That's
wholeheartedly, fully embracing, and you know.
And so we do that thing where when it comes, we make sure that oh, this is others. So by having anything come in that is similar, that infiltrates that, I think it confuses some people because you have someone that is black and British taking an American role, but only thing you can say is, oh, you're black too, or, oh, you are of African descent too. You have that in relation, but then it's like, wait, hold on. We can't really claim this all the way because we don't come from the same backgrounds. And it's weird, but I think it confuses some people and they kind of are reluctant to embrace it. Like you said, all of it should be celebrated. But I think that plays a factor too in how people are receiving.
Yeah.
I don't know. Right?
No. I'm hearing and I'm fully getting it, and it's just so sad that it's sad, but I get it. That such a debate has to happen, especially when it comes to roles for black people, because it's they're so minimal and they're so rationed and stuff. So I get it, because I'm just, me, I love documentaries, especially music ones, but occasionally I watch ones of actors and, I think the same argument happened with like a couple of Australian actors, Australians crossing the border to, work in America and get certain roles. And, because they're white, but because they weren't American, but they're from Australia, they might have had to, but yeah, like, them, competing against roles and, Americans saying that, okay, well, they're white, but they're Australian. But I don't know. I mean, it's a hard one. Mm-hmm. I mean, me personally, I'm just happy to see black people getting roles, irrespective of where they're from or their background. But, to me, as long as they're getting the opportunity, they're getting involved, and as long as they're able to execute well, I'm happy with it. But that's just my stance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's heavy. It's heavy. It is.
I mean, yeah. To now break it down to like now locations, like to me, I'm just happy to see 4 black people on the screen, So to me, I see 4 black people on the screen and I'm excited. 4 black people with lead character roles. I'm not about to get mad because, hold on a second, why are they not all from the UK, or why are they all from America, right? or why are they all, what I'm saying?
Here's what somebody was saying on a forum.
Sorry to cut you before. Remember what you're going to say. For me, I'm excited to see 4 black characters with a lead role, number one, and even more excited to see 4 black fresh faces in terms of, because it's so typical, especially with big films, for it to be typical people. I mean, I don't know. As I said, I'm more of a music guy, so I'm not always familiar with actors, but off the top of my head, it could have been Eddie Murphy, Will Smith, Wesley Snipes, and Denzel Washington. Now, that's 4 black characters playing a film, which, yes, is great because it's 4 black people, but then at the same time, it's the same recycled, overused actors that, are always taking the jobs. So for me to see 3, I don't want to say underrated, but unfamiliar faces taken on these roles, to me, I'm happy for that, irrespective of where they're from, whether they're from America, whether they're from the UK, whether they're from Africa, wherever. As long as they can carry the role well and deliver it well and execute the job beautifully, and there's 3, fully black faces, I'm happy and content with that. I'm not even trying to argue about the background. You know what I'm saying? If anything, my argument would be if it was faces that are typical. Oh, Eddie Murphy, like, as if he's not got enough films already. Why would you have to use him? Is there not anybody else that can do it? You know what I'm saying? So that would be my argument if I had to have an argument with that. I wouldn't be finicky about the background. But what was you going to say?
I was going to say someone made a quote on a forum that I was like, oh, damn, that's deep. But they were like, imagine, because like I said, when the hand is dealt, a lot of Black Americans get the short end of the stick. It's just what we've kind of been conditioned to. They were like, imagine, building a table and then getting to a point where you can't even get invited to have a seat at the table that you built.
Can you imagine? Building a table, but you can't eat. You can't have dinner on that table that you built.
So, and that's what they kind of related the trend to. Okay. It's like, oh damn, you can't even get invited to the party. Now you came up with the concept. You
okay.
But you can't come.
Okay.
And I was like, wee. It just. I was like, damn, I didn't think that's deep. But like I said, these conversations are so necessary because we absolutely have to have an appreciation for one another. And the only way that can really be developed is if we do just like you and I are doing, is if we, talk to each other. If we, and a lot of people, I think the issue with social media is that everybody can say everything, but also you don't get the tone of voice. You don't get the humor. You don't get the sarcasm. You don't hear those things when you're on a keyboard, right? So nothing ever translates well. That's why I just kind of is it's chaotic mess when these conversations happen. I'll try to find something for you on social media, I'll tag you just in the comments or something, so you can scroll through and see.
But no, that's very interesting. But and I can now see it from their side now. Now you especially after quoting that quote. I mean, I guess for us, it's such it's a big deal for us in the fact that, America has these big historical legends that stories and stuff can be told and films can be created. You know what I'm saying? And if we as Londoners in the UK are waiting for an opportunity for that to be done here, we'll be waiting a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that America not only have that.
You mean to tell me there's not a British Tyler Perry?
Listen, I mean, but what I'm trying to say.
There's not a British Tyler Perry studio.
No. I'm saying like nowadays. I mean, we're doing our thing. Like, what I'm saying, we are doing our thing, and there's loads of, honestly, like we are doing our thing. There's loads of great examples of, Black independent, blah 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 blah. But what I'm saying is America's always been quite ahead. I mean, we had the Mobile Awards, music of Black origin, which celebrated Black music. But even then, it started swaying a bit. And it's almost like, I don't know. Whereas with America, for example, they had the BET Awards. They've got the Black Girls Rock Awards. And it's very much unapologetically, strictly Black. Like, to me, it's just like, these platforms are celebrating black, you know what I'm saying? And they're very much unapologetic about it. And they stick to the narrative, they stick to the agenda, and they uplift and they celebrate, and they're very frank about it. And I love that. Whereas the UK is almost like, we have that, but, just in case we're seeming a bit too pro-Black, let's quickly make Becky win an award. Because she did feature on a song with, Taniqua. I'm joking. But I'm saying, like, it's almost like they have, I feel like it's only now we are, because now we've got a couple, we've got now we've got a couple, like before it was just the Mobile Awards. Now we've got oh my gosh, the name's completely come out of my head now. I need to remember this name. I'll come back to it. But only because I want to shout them out, only because, they're making moves. But before, it was literally just the Mobile Awards. And it's almost like it started off with like, this is the agenda. Then it kind of slightly expanded to not offend people. And it's just like, well, the whole point of the Mobile Awards is because the Brit Awards and all the other awards wasn't acknowledging or giving us the rights that,
Right. Yeah, I get it.
But and I think, and with America, what I love about them is that if you ain't going to do it, then we'll do our own. And they've always been about that. And I think, and it's because of that stance, which is why a lot of UK artists, for example, are crossing over to America, because there's a bigger audience and there's a bigger appreciation.
Here's what I want to see happen. This is what I want to see happen. When you cross over, and this is to whom it may concern, when you cross over and you come and you're playing these parts or you're going for these things, bring you with it. Bring yourself with it, because at some point you want to be able to tell your story too, or you want to be able to share what is unique to you.
Mm-hmm.
And you won't be able to ever do that if you are playing as someone else, or you're having to change your accent to get a part. You shouldn't have to conform that much. And it's one thing to be an actor and to kind of want to dive into a role. That's what you do in that profession. But bring a piece of you with it. So that way, when you are making these strides, you can share, you can share parts of you, and people can be open to that. And I think that's the big thing. That's the big takeaway, is that we can't keep watered down stuff and pacifying people just because, oh, you don't really understand when I say a word like this, or my accent's too thick. It's like, okay, well, turn the fucking subtitles on, man. You know what I mean? It's like, for example, when Disney just made this like live action Mulan film, right?
Who?
Disney. They made that live action Mulan film, right?
Okay.
I was like, if they really want to drive it home for Asian people, for people from that culture, make everybody in there speak Chinese and make us read it, because those people deserve that big of a platform. But we're so, babied, and we're so like coddled that even in a film that features that many Asians, they got to speak English. You know what I mean? We heaven forbid we read some subtitles.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you just can't continue to keep, catering to only those audiences, just to kind of do what's comfortable. You have to really go back those layers and, share what it is in the raw, And that's one thing I do appreciate about your approach with your music. One of the things I enjoy about having crossed paths with you and knowing you is that you just been you, and for that I appreciate it, and don't let nobody change that. So if they say they got a deal for you, take the deal.
Listen, I actually appreciate your appreciation, and the fact that you recognize that means I'm doing the right thing. Because to me, as I said, I don't want to be anybody else. I'm not trying to be anybody else other than me, what I do, what I represent. And to me, if my representation of myself is resonating with people, then I've won. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, the fact that you said that,
I want to put a cap on the end of this. I want you to try something for me.
Okay.
I gotta witness this. This.
So the other awards I was talking about, there's actually two. But one of them is called the UEA Awards, which stands for the UK Entertainment Awards, which also focused on like just celebrating Black entertainment within different platforms, be it radio, TV, DJs. Yeah. So the UEA Awards, which to me is another award show. Yeah.
I have to look it up. So you got to be telling me stuff. See, this is what I'm saying? That's all it takes. It's supposed to be like, hey, check this out. Nowadays you ain't got to even say all that. You just drop a link or send a text. Hey, look at this video. And that's it. That's the start of conversations of bridge building, and that's what we need. Mm-hmm. But I want to put a cap on this whole thing about perception of accents and things. I want to end on a much lighthearted affair here.
Oh, okay.
If you can, If you can, Jai, I want to hear your American accent.
Oh, behave yourself.
You got it. It's so befitting. So for the next minute, you're gonna talk to me in your best American accent.
Wait. 1 second. I'm even trying to think of an accent.
Just find it. What's a movie you like?
So you want me to answer the American accent?
Yeah. I want you for 60 seconds. I want you to talk.
No, that's too long. Oh my days.
That's not too long. I'm gonna time it out. We're still gonna have a conversation, but for the next 60 seconds, you have to use your best American accent. It'll be fun.
All right.
Hold on, wait. Where's my timer? Timer 60 seconds. Okay.
I just remember the other award show, by the way, said there was the
UAE.
What's one I said before?
The UAE, and then there was
well done, you remembered. Yeah, so there's the UEA.
Oh, what did I say? UEA.
No, wait. UEA Awards.
Mm-hmm.
But what did I say it stood for again? Yeah.
United.
Whoa.
It was the UK Entertainment Awards, right?
Oh, that's it. Thank you. Well done. Take you. Well done. Okay, so there's the UEA, and then there's also the Black British Theatre Awards.
Oh, wait. This is the perfect time for you to do your accent. What are you talking about?
Oh, piss off.
So tell me in your best American accent the award shows, and we'll keep talking for 60 seconds, and the time starts now. What are the award shows again?
So we got the Mobile Awards. Then we got the Black British Theatre Awards. And then we got the UEA Awards. UK Entertainment Awards. You're tripping. TeaRon, you're tripping. TeaRon, don't play me out like that. What's going on with you? Don't play me out. You're tripping.
Y'all.
Yo, TeaRon, it's my time out. It's a time over. You're a mess.
Oh, y'all. Okay. Time's up.
Thank God for that. My days.
You can't even help it. Your accent's just so fucking thick. You can't.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit.
This guy.
I'll sign out here with my best British accent before we go.
Go ahead.
All right. And I want you to rate it.
Whoa. Before you start, what do you rate mine?
On a scale of what?
Piss off. I don't like that response. On a scale of 10.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, so you do 1 to 10 or 1 to 5?
Probably, I mean, either way, it's probably going to fall in the same spectrum. Let me see. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10. Okay. We'll do 1 to 5. That's easy. We'll do on a scale of 1 to 5. I'll give you 1.75.
You are taking a piss.
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't understand. Your accent is thick.
Okay,
you have that, like you said, you got that South London thing going on. So it's hard for you to break it.
Cool. Your turn.
Don't be like that.
I'm judging you harshly.
If I do well, then, let me do that.
Cool.
I'm nervous. This is okay. All right, here we go. Why is it so intense? I feel like I should have waited to rate you after we both went.
Oh, aha. I actually put the same thing, but anyway, go on.
See, not fair. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I have been TeaRon. That's TeaRon period. And JiGH, I want to thank you for just being able to come on here. Come on here and share your thoughts with me today and really just sit down and have this conversation. Again, I really appreciate you for just taking out the time. And I'm glad we finally got to be able to do this. So, yeah. Don't you hate on me. Don't you hate on me, all right? Don't you fucking do it.
So you started off at 0.5.
No!
Out 0.5 out of 5. But then after your intro,
just a hate.
You gradually stepped up to 1. So I'll say 1 out of 5.
So you say 1 out of 5.
No, do you know what? I'm actually gonna rate you and give you a 3.
Give me a good score. Don't do that, man.
I'm gonna give you a 3.
Don't bloody do that.
I'm gonna give you a 3. I'm gonna give you a 3.
A 5?
Piss off. Maybe a 3.5. A 3.5.
I'll take it.
But yeah, I rate. Yeah.
Here's what I'll do. I'll listen to more of your tunes, and I'll try and find some British shows and stuff, and I'll pick it up. And then the next time we talk, I'll be like,
well, if
I'll hit it.
I can say you did better than me. Like, yeah, out of the 2, you
of course I
did
did
better.
Of course I did better. Black Lives Matter.
Hey, why you clowning? No, so hey, stop tripping. Stop clowning me. I'm over it. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, you blatantly won that.
Repeat this real quick. This will be a good phrase. So it'd be like, man, if you don't get your big head self on, say something like that.
See,
man,
the thing is, but that's what I'm saying. That with that, because that's how you guys talk. So you say it from the gut. Like, you don't like, well, because I'm imitated.
See, listen, we gotta break it down. We gotta break it down to phonetics. So,
collard greens and grits and collard greens.
we gotta say. So I'm like, man, if you own, it's all one. That's all. If you own, it's all
man, if you own,
not if you don't.
If you don't get your ass up that seat, I'ma kick your ass.
Boy, if you own,
you see this? I'm done with the humiliation.
No, it's not humiliation. It's hysterical. It's lighthearted, and I mean, like I said, I enjoy it. JiGH, before we go here, if you can, just tell the people what they have to look forward to, where they can find you, find out more information, where they can bother you, and where they can hear more of your American accent.
You fool. So my name is JiGH, JiGH. That's my artist name. That's my real name. You can find me on social media, Twitter, or
social media,
Insta, Twitter, or Insta,
or on Tinder.
Well. At JiGH, it's JiGY, JiGH. JiGH. Because I'm a J. No, I'm joking. Yeah, JiGH, JiGY, JiGH, JiGH.
What's the? I know it's hard to make plans right now. It's hard to plan too far ahead with everything going on. But what are you looking forward to in the 2021?
I am definitely looking forward to releasing a full body of work, which I hope to do within the first quarter. When I say quarter. I say the first quarter because it's probably more realistic. Definitely more realistic. So yeah, I'm looking to drop a full body of work, possibly a few visuals for Tinder and any upcoming singles, and probably get straight onto the next project because, it's kind of hard to. I mean, every year I write a list of goals that I intend to achieve this year, within the year. And whilst I've managed to achieve a few of last year's goals, there's a whole lot that's going to have to be transferred to this year's. And even then, that's dependent on the state of the worldly affairs in this damn pandemic. Definitely music. Yeah, I've got a lot of unreleased stuff. I've got a lot of ideas. So I'm just going to be proactive and productive with that. And all the things that I can do. I mean, yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what you come up with and what more you bring.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to be more proactive this year because, I mean, as I said, last year I just released one single, which, but this year it's not going to be a repeat of last year. So it's going to be a full project of work. It's going to be singles. It's going to be videos. It's going to be, yeah. Yeah.
Just don't tell us a date.
Yeah. I gave myself a safe window by saying the first quarter. So January, February, March.
The first quarter.
Yeah.
The first quarter. Now, as you all know, I have been TeaRon, of course. That's all I can be. And I do appreciate you all for joining us on this episode, or in this case, this two-parter. Hopefully this isn't the last time we make it over to the UK and we talk to more of our peeps on that side. You can always look up the show. You can find us all over the internet at Ubiquitous Blacks. If you don't know how to spell it, if you type it into Google will be like, did you mean? And then you'll get it. It's all right. Of course, as you know, if you are listening to this, you can subscribe, follow, whatever you need to do on the platform you choose to do it on. And also remember to leave a rating and a review. Recently, someone took the piss out of my reviews for the podcast, I noticed. And they didn't leave a written review, but they left a rating, and they left 4 stars. And I don't understand why, because I'm pretty sure at the end of the episodes, I let you know that you can leave a review and you can leave 5 stars. If you plan on leaving anything other than 5, keep it to yourself. I don't even want it. Why would you do that? So to whoever it was, if you can hear me, do me a favor. Reach out to ubiquitousblacks@gmail.com and let me know why. I want to do better. Unless you just were taking the piss, because I'm using this now. This is my phrase. Unless you were just taking the piss and you wanted to be a hater.
No, days.
If you don't really have any rhyme or reason, are you just like, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's all right. Let me know how I can improve. This is a two-way street.
T1, he's tripping. They be tripping.
They tripping. This is the good time. I don't know. I like I said, I'm a one-man band. We have a lot of things that we're working on for the new year. And a lot of things we're trying to execute. And we just need you to be able to do that. So if you have feedback to give, if you want to leave a review, definitely do so. And also we have the upcoming website release for the official ubiquitousblacks.com, which I'm excited about. And also there's going to be merch. JiGH, I got to send you some merch.
Oi.
It'll take 2 months for you to get it, but I'm going to send it.
If that.
Yeah, again, I want to thank you. And yeah, I'm out. Peace.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Much appreciated. No, I've enjoyed this conversation. And good to catch up with you, man.
Absolutely.